from market reaction to Brexit news, do you think investors are assuming a deal will still be reached?
Yeah, it seems to be. Obviously, sterling sold off yesterday on the news, and some of that, I think, was limited by US markets being closed, so you may see a bigger reaction today. But certainly some of the markets are complacent, not sort of complacent, but they're saying it's just posturing. They're looking at what happened last year when agreement finally was reached. And I think they're just saying that Boris Johnson's playing some brinkmanship. At the end of the day, some deal will be reached. Now, again, that may go past this October 15th deadline that Boris Johnson has alluded to. But the markets at the moment think, look, it's in everyone's interest to get some basic deal done. So at the moment, they're assuming it's just posturing. A deal will somehow be reached by the end of the year.
David, sterling is currently 131.50, seeing downside of about 10% in today's session. What does the history of Brexit, the tortured 2 years that we've seen, tell us about how much lower sterling can go on these negotiations and these back and forths?
Yeah, I think that's a good question. I think the key thing, obviously, if it was to become a reality, then the markets would have to factor that in very quickly. And as I said, at the moment, they're sort of assuming that it's all just posturing. If it did, particularly with the December 31st deadline beginning to fast approach, the markets will have to adjust that pricing. You see sterling pushed down. The key level initially against dollar to look for is around the 130 handle, because there's been support around there. If it starts pushing through there, then sterling towards 128, it could move to. Again, really, if the market really starts thinking it's going to be the end D-Day is going to happen, so I think the way to look for it is in the option market and start looking at 3-month and 6-month implied volatility. If they really start picking up, then I think the market, it's indicating the market's getting very spooky indeed. At the moment, they're rising, but not crazy rising. They're like 2-3 month highs. But certainly if they started upticking by 2 or 3 or 4 more vol, then the market's going, okay, we're actually very concerned about this. And that means the downside sterling will pick up.